Hi. Unlike the terrestrial flow of water that never rises above its source, the river of human life constantly endeavors to rise above its source. A young hero who gives away their life in a bid to save others is running against all their biological impulses. The biological instinct ingrained in human life is to save and preserve oneself, but there is an inexplicable heroism in deeds like that when one is willing to throw away their only life in an attempt to save others. Many great men in human history have renounced their right to this life so that some higher cause might prevail to others' benefit, so that others have a better life. Consider the cases of Jesus or of martyrs of Karbala, judged by worldly standards. Giving up one's life or having one's thirsty body slashed to death by swords and spears doesn't seem an attractive bargain, does it? And yet, such men of truth act with the fire of their heart and testify by giving away their life that real glory awaits those who sacrifice themselves for the consummation of a greater good. The life in man is capable of rising above and beyond its own plateau. The heroes among us always seem to swim upstream against the flow of biological impulses. Now the fact that this happens shows that human has an instinctive awareness of right from wrong. Otherwise, we can't explain why some people, for the sake of the truth, are prepared to invite ridicule upon themselves. There are people who are willing to stake all they have, their riches, their honor, their reputation, their family, and their own lives, in order to uphold their capacity for speaking truth and doing justice. These are people who, regardless of the odds, wish to live good lives and are prepared to pay all costs to fight evil. While despots are surrounded by sycophants, there are some who will always utter the truth to them. These are manifestations of human capacity to rise beyond life's source, as I said, presenting evidence of the moral capacity to go beyond our current ground. We can always go beyond our current ground. Life offers all of us opportunities. While Earth's gravitation pulls downwards, there is a pull that draws the life of human upwards. Responding to that pull, one transcends oneself to fulfill a higher law, that is, human's real ascension. The imperative of a moral life is such that even immoral people try to justify their acts to themselves, not only to others, but to themselves, to suppress the guilt inside. Even confirmed criminals don't admit their role to themselves or to those whom they love, despite having or being aware that one is a rascal. Deep down in one's heart one says, indeed, this only is the minor aspect of my life, otherwise I am a good guy. One knows that one is lying, but one still feels obliged to take a false position against oneself. This, therefore, is the mystery of human's moral life, that somehow even the evildoer acknowledges integrity as a superior value. Why is evil obliged to constantly pay this compliment to the good? Because somewhere in the inner being of a man, the flame of an enduring goodness is caged. We all know Bill Gates, Bono, and the great humanitarians Mother Teresa and Abdul Sattar Edhi. We all know Louis Pasteur, and we all know who developed penicillin. But countless unsung heroes in our societies participate in helping human life search past its source, day in and day out. Some are more prominent examples. For example, whoever invented seat belts or airbags, or I can cite a long list here. Do we know their names? I don't. Yet they have saved numerous lives and prevented incalculable disabilities, haven't they? Against all odds, there are those who are driven to do the good. No matter the price, the best among humanity are committed to their code of honor. A person's inner state has its own rule. One may be wealthy and possess all material things one desires and yet be unhappy. It seems that the longings of flesh can't satisfy the basic urge of life. Without corresponding inner fulfillment, acquisition of riches becomes like drinking saline water. The more you drink, the more you are thirsty. Haven't we all, in our own experiences, come across people who are miserable although they have everything the wealth can buy? This probably was what urged Prince Siddhartha to give up all he had in order to find the answer to the suffering he saw around him. So the big question remains, what am I here for? It's not an easy question. Unfortunately, we don't easily find the reply. And when the question is raised, but the reply is not found, we struggle to know what to do with ourselves. After all, it's not what we have, but what we are that's important. What we have, we may lose any time. Who we are may change in terms of positions, rank. But what we are is ours forever, often in death too. So what we lack in being creates a void that gnaws at our core. We don't need a prophet to come and tell us that what we are lacking won't be supplied by that which we are trying to grab. What we are lacking in being cannot be supplanted by having. This hunger to search for truth and everlasting peace within is the awakening of a person's being. An open spirit and humility above all inculcate this realization to introspect, to think what we are. I have an analogy to describe closed-minded people like religious fanatics or racists or people who blindly follow another human being or who unquestioningly follow an ideology or a fascist or a populist. They are basically people who are obsessed with one idea to the exclusion of all else. It's like a state of dream consciousness that includes seeing things as real while we are in a dream state. It's impossible to convince people while they are dreaming that they are dreaming, isn't it? Yes. In such a state, it's not possible even to communicate with them. You can talk to them if they seem awake, but not communicate with them. They first have to wake up for us to have any chance of convincing them that they were dreaming. I think many human waking lives are not much different. Not all, not majority, but many. So only when we really wake up do we see the unreality and illusoriness of what we thought was real. The awareness, when enkindled, enables a man to wake up in a life that is real. To be aware, to be enlightened, to be inspired, and to be transformed is the acme of human experience on this earth. I trust this reminds you to be more awake to the life's potential, to be more conscious of what you are. Heroes are not born, they become. You too can be hero in your own little way, in your own humble or grandiose surroundings. Thank you.